We're live.
Woo! What's up, y'all? John Melton coming to you live with another episode of Money Monday. And I'm excited because we're going to help you go from average to savage in your business, especially when it comes to all things follow up. How many of us keep it 100? How many of us ride the struggle bus a little bit when it comes to follow ups, what to say, what to do, getting ghosted, feeling like you're going to be a little bit pushy or spammy or annoying and you don't want to feel that way? But you also know we're changing lives for a living. We can't be timid. We can't sit back twiddling our thumbs waiting for people to ask us for our link. Most people are not going to throw their credit cards at you, although that's nice when that happens. But how many of us know the apples? You got the red apple, green apple, rotten apple. We can also call it the brown apple. Okay. It's the apple that you would never want to eat. All right. It's the person you would never want to sign up. They got a bad attitude. They're very skeptical. Let them be skeptical. Let them be right. And you go get rich. Okay. But here's where most of us need to improve. And I'm excited for you to hear from Michelle. Look, see, I'm pointing in the opposite direction, but it's pointing towards Michelle. How perfect. But I'm excited for you to hear from Michelle because she is a lean, mean recruiting and follow-up machine. So we're going to talk about how to get from a green apple to a red apple, or how to get out of the green zone. Because how many of us would agree on a scale of 1 to 10? All right, let's just, for those of you that like simplicity, on a scale of 1 to 10, if someone's like between a 3 and a 7, maybe they're not ready to join yet. How many of us are like, what can I do to get them to an 8, 9, or a 10? Right? We want to get the maybes off the maybe fence and get them to join, buy, or by the way, say no so we can cross them off our list and move on. So if you ride the struggle bus just a little bit, drop some bus emojis in the comments. If you struggle a little bit with the follow-up, with the close, with enrolling people, maybe you're having conversations, but you're not converting those potentials into a customer, into a partner. And I can tell you in the early days, I sucked at closing. I ruined relationships. I would argue with people. Nadia wasn't just called the Russian hammer because she was Russian. She, just like me, we would blow people out of the water. We were so aggressive. And we thought people were like morons if they said no. Which, by the way, if you believe that to be true, just don't say it to the person. That's rule number 1. Anyway, just having some fun on this beautiful Money Monday. What's up, Jennifer? What's up, Emilio? Alyssa, how's it going? Really excited for this conversation. So for those of you that don't know Michelle, maybe you've literally been living under a bus, talking about the struggle bus, maybe been living under a rock. But I've had Michelle on multiple times over the last couple of years. We're in the middle of this big launch right now. We're going to partner together to work with those of you that want to rank up and bank up for 6 weeks, starting literally, is it next week? Or is it the following week? It's like the 25th. I think it's a week and a half. I think it's like 10 days from now. Yeah. 10 days from now, we're going to have our very first training session. And it doesn't matter what company you're in. It doesn't matter what product or service you're marketing. We are going to help you generate more leads, more sales, get better at the follow-up, get better at the recruiting conversations, team building, duplication, ATMing, all things social media, all things that you need to know to rank up and bank up. And guys, we've got top earners from other companies. We've got 6 and 7 figure earners. We've got brand new people. We've got people within my organization, within my company, and people from dozens and dozens of other companies. And it doesn't matter what you're selling: lotions, potions, pills, water filters, skincare, hair care, cleaning products, knives, bowls, beads, pots, pans, jewelry, legal service, travel service, real estate. It doesn't matter. Would you agree you need leads? You need to fill your pipeline with humans that are interested in what you got going on. And my goal today, along with Michelle, is to help you improve upon your conversions. Because anybody can sign up a red apple, but most people are not red apples. Nobody should be signing up a rotten apple, right? They're just super negative, super skeptical. Like I'll send out a text message through Project Broadcast. And what did the guy say to me yesterday? Anyway, he said something super rude, and I just sent back a laughing emoji because I just find it funny. I love the brown apples. Okay, we'll keep it PG, brown apples, but really they're just rotten. They're not rotten people, but you wouldn't want to eat a rotten apple. You wouldn't want to partner with that person. Like there is a such thing as bad volume. Does that make sense? We don't want those people. We don't want to spend time with those people. But with all that being said, let me get to it. So Michelle, how many people just this month alone? Let's forget about the last 90 days, the last 2 years, how you quadrupled your income, all that stuff. Let's just talk about how many people have you enrolled not customers. We'll get to customers in a second. How many people have you enrolled this month as a social marketer, joining your team, partnering with you recruitment wise?
14.
What's today?
Today's the 15th, so it better be 15 today because that's my goal. And I can't go to sleep until it's done. So I better be creating a lot of short videos or talking about it on my stories. Or if they're not coming to me, I better get in their inbox because it's
Let's
not going to
start with that. Let's start with that. Okay, so do you believe follow-up is just a manual process of just following up, messaging people? Let's talk about it. What is your belief around follow-up? How do you close so many people, 14 people in 15 days? And this day ain't over, so she's going to get 15, guaranteed. Her goal is 30 this month. So talk about it. Let's hear it.
So I just want you to know that you are going to start at like, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to follow up. I feel gross about following up. I feel like I feel like I'm annoying this person. That's all very normal. I did not get into this industry back 6 years ago being good at closing and being good at following up. I was the person who would message someone and I never would follow up ever. Basically, I'd say, okay, they ignored me. I'm going to defriend them. Like literally used to do that. Now I'm the person.
Hey, by the way, was that taught to you or was that just your thing? You're like, you know what, whatever, next.
It was just my thing.
Okay, that's funny.
It was just my thing. My thing was
loser, delete.
I was never really taught the right way. So it was just one of my trial and error things that I did because I was like so desperate for money and like wanted to make it work. And I knew that if people like you could do it, I could do it as long as I didn't quit and I just kept going. So I then started following up. I'm like, okay, fine. Every person I message, I'm actually going to message them in 48 hours later. So I don't look too desperate. I'm going to give them a sincere follow up. And then my numbers went way up. Then I started to realize, okay, I'm going to follow up like 7 times in the course of literally 2 months. Like that means touching them almost once a week. Anyone who says yes to me. Okay, so you really have to get organized because a lot of us are doing this. If you're anything like me on the side, I used to do this on the side of a full-time job and I had 2 part-time jobs. So what I would do was I have a notebook and I still have it and it's labeled for today. There's on there the 15th of the month and the 16th and the 17th and the 18th and the 19th and the 20th, the 21st and the 22nd. And then the last page is a yes page. Okay. Yes means all my yeses for the week. So when I go in today and all the people on my stories, all the people from my post yesterday, you're not hearting anything. They're stopping by. They're thumbsing up. They're hearting it. And if I can't find 50 people, my rule of thumb is 100, to be having a conversation with every single day through my stories and through my content, because I know that's what you're going to say to me next, you need to go and reach out to people just saying, hey, Brittany, happy Monday. How are you doing? ? That's it. That's it. That's what you need to do. Because it's going to be a skill set that you are going to learn. And I know it's going to be very uncomfortable because I remember asking people like John and my husband, like, how do you have a conversation through a phone and ask people how they're doing when it's none of my business? The number one thing that people love talking about is themselves. And if you actually give them an ear and you ask them how they're doing and you ask them what's new and you ask what's up with their kids and you ask what's up with the hobbies that they're doing right now, they want to talk to you and they're pretty much going to tell you everything that you need to know. But the problem is, we're looking to have a conversation, and that first, hey, how are you? I'm doing great. How are you? You're not even keeping control of the conversation because I know that if I'm going back and forth with John and we're having a conversation on Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday, and then all of a sudden I don't hear from him Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, it's my responsibility to go back and go, okay, it's Monday. So, hey, like catch up. What happened? Like, I know last time we talked, you were going to softball with your daughter. Like, how'd that go? How are you doing? Build the freaking relationship. Like, you know what I mean? Like, people will buy from you. They know, like, and trust. And not many people, 8% of people are willing to follow up. So you're going to look really amazing. People are not out there in the network marketing space doing amazing things, but you can be amazing and you can hear, wow, I love your persistence. You're going to get rotten apples. Tell them to go fly a kite. Okay. I pray for people like that. I had someone tell me through all my comments this weekend, my daughter had her first communion, that my slacks were too long and that I should have wore different shoes. It's like, thank you so much for your input. I pray for you every single day. Someone like you, like if that's all you can see in that amazing picture, You guys have to remember the only thing you're bringing to someone is a gift and a miracle in your mouth.
Mm.
And if you didn't believe it, you would have never said yes. You might have said yes, and then you turned into that really excited child that back in the day says yes to what they really know they want, and they put that outfit on and they rock it, but then they start to get belittled in middle school, high school, and they start to
Mm.
believe it. You at once said yes to something you know is going to work, but then you are feeding yourself thoughts along the way like, they don't like me, I'm annoying them. Where do you get that from?
Right.
You get that from what you're listening to, the
Mm.
radio, your country. I don't even care if it's country music. Like, listen to books of people who are successful and who have done it, because I used to be that person. It's me. I'm never going to be good at this. I'm the type of personality that has to do sales in person. Michelle, shut your mouth. Okay, go pour into yourself a little bit more, okay, and give it some time. And that's what I did, and I executed. I will never in my entire life reach out to someone about this opportunity or about this uh, supplement that I have and not follow up 7 times in 8 weeks. Period. You don't
Mm.
like me, I'm annoying, block me. If you tell me to stop, I'm going to stop. No problem. Can I ask what it is that's not a good fit for you? Because usually it's something they didn't even know. Well, I can't afford it. Oh, you can't afford 25 bucks today because there's a payment plan option. Oh, shoot. Like you can't afford it. Do you want me to show you how I not only earn an income but earn a check with a comma every single month if you could just find maybe 4 hours a week? Oh, now we're talking. So that's what you really have to consider is the posture. Like what I have, the fact that I'm reaching out to you on my story, like you're lucky. Like
Mm.
it's a blessing in disguise. Like this literally has changed my life. Like even in my previous company, the upline that I never had, like it doesn't matter because thank gosh that it was offered to me and that she changed my life, because I have no clue where I would be today. Because I'll tell you what's hard. What's harder than showing up on social media, a platform meant to be social, is having $60,000 in debt,
Mm.
living in an unsafe environment for your child, having to say no to everything, your credit cards declined for her prescriptions, you literally have a nail in your tire, so you have to call and have Uber. Like, that's what's hard. It's stressful. It's hard. It's not hard learning how to do a follow up, it's action based. Like, if I told you right now, you can make $10,000 this month if you reach out to 50 people every day saying this, doing this, following up, posting this, putting these things on your stories, would you do it every single day for 90 days? Would you? You would absolutely not have one excuse to not show up in those 90 days. Like, you only got 3 hours of sleep. Nope. Good day, bad day, busy day, ugly day. You will follow that to a T for 90 days. Would you do it? Then why aren't you doing it? That's the thing. Because it's a complete game changer. And I had to hear that. And when I heard that, that was when it changed my business from, not a comma check to a multiple comma check. And I'm telling you that it's worth it. And you actually are more professional doing it that way than the person who's just throwing it out there and trying to have something stick. It shows a lot about you.
I mean, it's just ridiculous. Like, why even stop talking? How many of us would agree Michelle is just like lighting it up? Drop some flame emojis in the comments if you're fired up, jacked up, and excited. We're streaming right now in like 7 different places. We've got hundreds of people on between Facebook, YouTube, I think Instagram. We're streaming all over the place right now. And I just hope everybody can see, number one, her posture, her confidence, her belief in what she's doing. Passion is contagious. Now, was she this passionate in the beginning? Probably not, right? She didn't have the same confidence and posture, but she was willing to do whatever it took to be successful, right? She had a burning desire. How many of you, drop some flame emojis again, if you have a burning desire to be successful? And here's the problem with most people, and this is why we're doing the 6-week boot camp. They are afraid to get their hopes up. Come on, be honest. Let me know in the comments if that's true for you. How many of us struggle to get our hopes up? We don't want to get our hopes up. Oh gosh, I've tried this before. I've tried this sort of thing before. I've tried a product like that. I've tried selling. I've tried marketing. People don't watch my videos. I don't want to be annoying, which we just talked about, right? The thing with Michelle is she doesn't accept no for an answer. Now, of course, it depends on the no. If someone's like, listen, I am not interested, do not ask me again. Fine, never going to ask you again, right? But that's not most people. I have never met anybody that's like, yeah, I'm in the best shape of my life. I don't need any supplements. I don't need to make any more money. If I had another dollar, I'd burn it. I don't know anybody that's like, yeah, I mean, I honestly would hate to make money in my sleep. That sounds terrible. I would hate to have an MBA, a massive bank account. I would hate to travel the world, work from home, buy a beach house. Like, that sounds terrible. Never met anybody like that. The only people that are going to hate on what you're doing are people that are jealous. You'll never meet a hater doing better than you. So I need you to just get over that fear of failure and that fear of rejection, number one. Number two, can you imagine if you could work with Michelle and I for 6 weeks? Can you imagine if you got all the best scripts, all the best follow-up strategies? And here's the thing that I want you to pay attention to. She's not messaging someone 7 times and every time like, hey, you ready to buy? Hey, you ready to join? Hey, you ready to get started? That is annoying. She changes the subject. She's a human first and a marketer second. Now, of course, there is a little bit more to it, right? There's another couple things she does. Michelle, can you also touch on when someone says, yeah, I'm interested, what are you doing next? How are you following up? What are some of those steps that you take everyone through?
Yeah, great question. And that's why if you are, I remember sometimes I'd listen to trainings like this and get overwhelmed because I'd be like, listen, I know how to reach out to people. I know how to do this, but then this is said to me. And
Mhm.
that's why this rank up, bank up challenge for this specific 6 weeks in John and I's lives, like we have that VIP chat for you to literally be like, okay, I said this to someone and now I'm in a situation where I don't know what to do, but I have you guys here. If you're actively working your business, you're going to be able to screenshot to us right then and there and be like, how do you do this? And you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I never even thought about it like that. Like, if you don't have, I understand how you feel, like overcoming objections, we can find a story within your company that we can say, like, I totally understand. People have asked about this in the past, and what I found is blah, 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 blah. So that's why, like, you cannot fail with this rank up, bank up challenge that is extremely, extremely affordable. The only reason why there's a monetary value on it is that so you take it seriously. So it's not another thing that you just put on your shelf of libraries and be like, oh yeah, I did this one time, but I never showed up for it.
And
So yes,
let's also point this out too. Michelle and I are making money, so we're much more motivated to help you. Not that we won't help all of you in all these different companies for free, but just keep it at 100. This is a business for us, so we want to over deliver. And the fact that, like you said, it's so affordable is ridiculous. But here's the thing: the price is going to go up again. Okay, so we had early bird, and then we're the regular bird price, whatever the heck that means. Drop the word boot camp in the comments, or because I know we're also streaming in some places like Instagram where we can't see the comments afterwards. It's in my bio on Instagram, probably on Michelle's bio too if it's not, but it's mylifestyleacademy.com/rank up. Mylifestyleacademy.com/rank up. And it does not matter what company you're in. We're doing this to help people that are in other companies. That's actually why we're doing it in the first place, because this is the stuff and the training we already give people in our own company. But even people in our own company are going to be doing this too. So, with all that being said, what is that process? What's that protocol for you? I want to hear it.
okay, so I get a yes from someone automatically, as we talked about in that pen and paper, because some of us get excited. Every 7 days, I have a blank sheet for my yes. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So I'm constantly knowing who said yes, because that yes, even if it doesn't turn into closing right then and there, whether it's now or 6 years from now, like I have people 6 years ago who are just now joining me. But let me tell you something. This month, when I went in to look at my PV, my volume for people who are on subscribe, it was at $86,000. And the reason why
Dang.
is because I was so persistent and gave them the time and built the relationship. And then they're like, they have this feeling of someone that like never gave up on them. So you're helping them, you're adding value by following up. Like you're planting seeds in their head for their health, for their energy levels, for their
Mm.
finances, whatever it is that you are out there selling, water filters, you're helping them. And that's how they look at it. And are you going to get some negative Nancy's like the one on my communion? Yes, but those are everywhere, okay? Every job, everywhere. So they
That's
say
like that's
yes.
like that's like God testing you. Those are
Yep,
little tests.
yep.
Can you pass the test?
Yep. So the yes is on the piece of paper because they said yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So today's Monday. They also go on my piece of paper for Wednesday. So now I flip to Wednesday because I know that I need to Wednesday see where that conversation left off at because I got a lot of combos going on. And then all I say is awesome. Do you have some current health goals, weight loss, reverse aging, more energy, or all of the above? I need to know what solution I can solve for this problem. Okay. They tell me, and I just follow a system. It's like, great, I can definitely help you with that. What I do is I help people get set up on personalized plans, help them if it's reverse age, lose weight and keep it off, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add you into a group and I'm going to tag you in a 3-minute video that explains it better than I can, along with some testimonials. Add into this group the little link and enter my first and last name and then shoot me a thumbs up. Okay. We have to realize that you're probably going to have to follow up with that person because they're probably not even going to add into the group.
Right.
Okay, so that's normal. There's so many different ways to follow up. It's okay, I invited someone to take a peek. I need to follow up. Okay, they said yes. I need to make sure they're in the group. Okay, now they're in the group. Did I ATM them? So I have like on the top of each one of my pages, like invited to group, like with a little checkbox, ATM, checkbox, close, checkbox. So you can make sure there's not just one way to follow up, right? So then once they're in that group and they've been tagged, let's all be for real. Most times they just look at it, or we're the ones circling back, said, so what did you think? Which we never say. Never. We don't want to ever open opportunity for negativity. If you're ever going to ask someone what they think about something, even about the product that they're on, if they bought from you, what positive changes are you seeing or feeling? What did you like best? Never how are you feeling? What did you like best? What positive changes are you seeing? And then if you already tagged them in the information and they see it and they can see these testimonials, and they can see that what you tagged them in, because I give a little blurbage as well, then you just pop in and you're like, voice note or message and be like, hey, Brittany. First, I always like being a human. I wasn't a human for a long time. I would just be like, kind of straight to the punch, the guzzler, you know what I mean? Now I'm like, hey, Brittany, happy Sunday. I hope you're having a great day. Hopefully your weekend's treated
Michelle,
you absolutely.
can we talk about that though? That is hard for our personality.
Yes.
Right? We want to be like,
God.
hey, what? I have fireworks happening. Wow. Okay. It's hilarious. So that is something that I think is so important for you to say again, though, because our personality is like, we just want to send, hey, how are you? Ready to get started? Like, we don't even want to be like, hey, how was your weekend? How's it go? Like, sometimes we have to change the subject and be human first, marketer second, and the prospect will bring it up. Hey, by the way, I meant to tell you, I'm going to get started later tonight. Like, okay, cool, great. So I love that you said that, because it is sometimes our personality. We want to just, straight for the jugular, right? We want to cut to the chase. Like, you ready to join or not? Okay, not next.
Yes.
Gotta, like, that's, people can tell if you have commission breath and it stinks. Anyway, go ahead. Keep going.
So sometimes I'll even like really on some social marketers that I'm working on right now, working with, I'll go to their page and be like, hey, happy Monday to you. I saw you went to a soccer game this weekend. How fun. What was the turnout? Who won? Who lost? How was it? And then secondly, I wanted to circle back to you, see if you had a chance to check out that video that I tagged you in. I'm dying to know, like, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being you're going to sit back and 10 being you're ready to go. I'm ready to lose whatever their goal is. I'm ready to reverse age. I'm ready to lose this stubborn 15 pounds. Show me the way, Michelle. Where are you on a scale of 1 to 10? 1 being that and 10 being that. Usually it's a 5 or a 6. You guys, 6 or above, I'm always like, awesome sauce. That's where I was. Sounds like you're ready to get started. Let's pick your flavor. Boom, 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 boom. The thing is, if they're missing information or they're going to tell you, well, I want pricing. Okay, great. Or you can always say, what information are you missing or lacking to make a decision one way or another to get you from a 5 to like a 7? Because no one's going to be there are people who are now a 10 who have followed me for such a long time and just seen so many testimonials that I have and that I share with people. Because if someone's telling me that they have more energy and that they're sleeping at night, screenshot stories, like put on my stories, like, you know what I mean? Like, these real people are reaching out to me, tons of them, you know what I mean? So that's how I do that.
Can we also, for those of you that are on here right now, if you have some objections or questions that you struggle with answering or overcoming, drop them in the comments. I'll try to monitor. The only challenge is I'm really only looking at the comments on my profile video. So maybe my team can help out with that too. But I want to hear some of your responses to some of that, because you do such a good job with that. So keep going.
So that's what I'll do for that follow-up. And then once you even send the cart, it's like, okay, closing, cart sent, paid. Okay, so all of these things have to be taken care of. But if you just use a notebook and you're constantly transferring that person through your notebook until they're finally closed, and then you go out 14 pages later, you need to follow up to see what positive changes they're seeing and feeling. So it's a really huge system. And the thing is I
have you're not just making a sale and then dropping them?
No, I want my people to get results. I used to do that. I used to get, oh my gosh, go on and get people to sign up and just be like, boom, and then not sit there and check in on them, not check in. I used to not even check in myself. Now I realize people will do what I'm doing. Just like
Yep.
your team will do what you're doing. If I show up in a private group and I'm like, you guys, my water intake was this today, my nutrition was this, my protein was this in grams, I took these supplements, my personal development was this book, and my water was this in ounces. What about you? I have a way better chance of other people coming in and be like this, and this, and then I can reach out to them. And it's building more of, again, a relationship with that person. Like, dude, you're crushing it. Like, way to get your water up there. Who cares that you had the cookie? Because I'm sure where you're at now, you're more self-aware when you're eating the cookie than you were a week ago. So you are still winning and you're doing phenomenal. What'd you do this weekend? I want the conversation. I like, oh, to do this, to get ready for work. It always leads like, oh, what do you do for work? Oh, I go to teach. I'm getting ready to close out the year. You teach? Yeah. What grade? Fifth. Oh my gosh. Are you serious? I help tons of teachers make money online. That's so crazy. Like, do you currently keep your options open when it comes to monetizing and leveraging the social, leveraging the power of social media? If not, no big deal. I actually typically never throw that out there, but you are a nice person. Like, just like, you know what I mean? Like, and then still conversate. Oh, no problem. Like, but most of the time they don't know that you have something they can do, and anyone can do this. I mean, anyone. Like, look at John's past. Look at my past. Like, there is nothing special if you go to events in every company and you watch people who walk across the stage that are so successful in this profession. You're not looking at one type of person. You are looking at different cultures, different sizes, different weights, different heights. Like, so pull that out of your head right now, because I had that little bit of a thing going on for a while. Like, well, she's this and she's that and he's this. No, there's people that is broke, busted, and disgusted and homeless walking across the stage because they had belief and they took action. And if you can believe in yourself and you can take action, you will have success. But one thing you'll never hear me say out loud is like, well, I'm not good at following up. That's just something I struggle with. Why are you saying that?
Right.
What you literally say and what you think is what you bring more of. Every
Okay.
day, I am telling myself that I am the number one recruiter in the nation. I am so happy and I am so grateful.
The nation.
Every in the nation.
No.
That's what I say every morning. That's just
No.
what I tell myself.
No, bigger. Way bigger.
Okay, in the world.
There we go. There
Okay.
we
Yeah, I need to change it. See? And I'm like
I love how
tapping my
you're like, what?
forehead.
I say it every morning.
Oh,
World.
yeah, I'm like, whoops.
Global.
I'm not saying that I'm like, I'm not saying it because I'm there yet. I'm
No,
just saying it
global.
because, like,
Number one in the world. Number one in
yep,
the world, period. Let's
when you
go.
put those thoughts into
Yeah.
your mind starts to go towards areas that it's going to, like, I know it's so weird, you guys. It seems so weird to hear people that are into personal development. But let me ask you this. Are you struggling right now in your business? And I don't even want to hear yes, because I usually am like, don't say that out loud. Are you doing personal development every day? Are
Sure.
you literally waking up every single morning and saying, like, I'm so happy and I'm so grateful that I am a platinum one? When you're like, are you sitting there like, I am so happy and I am so grateful that I am the best follow-upper in the world? Like, are you turning your biggest weakness into your biggest superpower? No one is born with this skill set.
That's
I
right.
sucked. Okay. I used to throw spaghetti at the wall and none of it used to stick. But I got really good at doing it by never quitting and just continuously taking action and telling myself how amazing I am at doing something before actually doing it. So I'm telling you, you have to really sit back and realize that all this is action steps. There's
Right.
literally 7 steps to this business. And if you follow every action step every day and you marry the process and you divorce the results, you will have success 100% guaranteed.
Yeah. I mean,
100%.
you're literally brainwashing yourself
Yep.
to believe you're great and to step into your fullest potential. And it's people think it's like, I need the exact script. I need to know what to do. I need the DMO. All of that stuff. Like, let me say it like this. I'll tell you, when I first got started, Michelle, you tell me if you can relate to this, because you've been doing this for 6 years. I've been doing it 22. When I got started, I didn't have a DMO. I didn't know what the hell I was doing, but
You
I
didn't have a
was
system.
excited. I was ignorance on fire. Ignorance on fire is better than knowledge on ice. I just did the stuff they told me to do because they said, find someone that has what you want, do what they do, and you'll get what they got. And I tell people what to do, and a small percentage of them actually do it. It's really hard. I was just talking to a new social marketer. Actually, she's on your team this morning. And I was saying it's really hard to find people that like have the desire and the ability. It's hard to find those people that are willing to do the work, but they also have the potential to be successful. And a lot of you say all the right things, but you're not doing the do. And by the way, even if you are doing everything Michelle's telling you, you still haven't been doing it long enough. Even if you're doing everything I'm telling you to do, you still haven't been, like, you're not successful yet. You haven't generated leads yet. You're not crushing it on the sales side or the recruiting side yet. But if you keep going, and not just, you can't just be consistent. You have to consistently improve. You have to consistently improve. The Michelle you're listening to right now is not the Michelle that was working with us a year ago or 2 years ago. In fact, we weren't even working together 2 years ago. She was in a different company, different organization. And I can just tell you that, she has worked her ass off, yes, but also she's done more personal development than just about anybody I know. So it's doing both the execution on the daily, but also the personal development, because if you grow this, everything else will fall into place.
Yes, 100%. But so many people think it's just like, I don't know, just like replace your radio time with podcasts. Like John, you give all your, like, a lot of scripts through like your podcast that you have. Like, I remember when I was in my previous company, I'd listen to you and go, holy crap, we don't even have a system. So like me reaching out to people, like, just keep going.
Right.
And how do you get better at doing something? Like when I sucked at following up, when I sucked at objections, I wanted to do it more and more and more. I wanted to quadruple my numbers. I got to the point where I knew if I invited 50 people to take a look at my product every day, it took me 46 minutes. Okay. There was times I would add up. I was in line. I put everything to a T. The other day on Saturday, I sat in line at Whole Foods. I got done in 8 minutes reaching out to 12 people. When's the last time someone's reached? Some people don't even reach out to 12 people a day, let alone I did it in Whole Foods while I'm sitting in a line, annoyed as I'll get up that there's a line. But I don't get annoyed anymore because, like, I make money while I'm in line.
But isn't it? Hold on, let's point that out. It is funny, isn't it? It's like every time you have a break, you're like,
yeah. Always.
Yeah, like,
I've worked this business 100%, coming up on an extremely big goal of mine. I'm pushing for a 7-figure income, and I have never once worked from a laptop. It is all my cell phone. It is on there. It is messaging. It is engaging on people, starting new conversations. I mean, all you got to do is go to your newsfeed and swipe.
Right.
You see someone planting flowers, and you're like, oh my gosh, your flowers look so beautiful. You did such a great job. How long did it take you to plant all those flowers? You just made that person's day, and now you just started a conversation with a freaking stranger.
Right.
You are amazing. Pat yourself on the back. Was it easy? No. Was it a little bit uncomfortable? Yes. But when you have that uncomfortable feeling and you're like, I hate Michelle for doing this to me and John, guess what's on the other side? Growth.
Yeah.
To succeed,
and
you must suck. Right, John?
Yeah.
Suck is in succeed. You're planting lots of seeds.
The succeed is good, isn't it? That's a good one. Succeed. You want to succeed, you got to suck, and then you're planting the seeds. Guys, listen. This is what Michelle just said. Oh, I keep forgetting it's opposite. What Michelle just said, I want you to pay attention to that too. During the 6-week Rank Up, Bank Up boot camp, it's such a good one. Rank Up, Bank Up boot camp. During that time, we're also going to challenge you. Like for 1 week, you might have to do live videos every day. For another week, we might, get you to do a certain amount of conversations, a certain amount of follow-up, ATMing, because all of this is a part of the process. And that's really what's beautiful about this. It's condensing timeframes. So that's why it's worth it to invest in this boot camp, no matter what product or company you're selling for, because this could, take what you might learn in 5 years and compress it into 6 weeks. And that's why this is so important. And we want to dive deep on every topic. And I would recommend VIP because you're also going to have access to us in a messenger chat. So we can really go back and forth. And I know it's going to be a little noisy sometimes because we're going to have all these people from different companies and organizations. But this stuff is so important. And by the way, you don't necessarily have to do what Michelle and I do as aggressively as we do it. But you may not have a goal of building a 7-figure income like Michelle, right? Like, Nadia and I have made an absolute fortune the last 7 years. And, we can teach other people how to do what we've done because we've done it. Michelle's one of those people that we've been mentoring, and she's very, very coachable. She's very determined. Nobody will be shocked when she's making 6 figures a month. Nobody, because they're going to be like, yeah, I saw her do it. So if you say, oh my gosh, I can't do as much as her. Well, maybe you just do 10%, 20%. She couldn't do what she's doing either in the beginning, right? She's now full-time and has a strong passion and desire for it, but you have to be okay with where you're at. And actually, I just had someone, they put a message in our team group yesterday because she goes, it seems like everybody else is crushing it but me. And I'm like, no. We're going to highlight the people that are crushing it. We're going to edify and recognize the people that are crushing it because they deserve it. But for every Michelle Churchill, there are dozens of people struggling. There are dozens of people that couldn't get a recruit if their life depended on it. That's why we're doing these trainings. That's why we have our podcast. That's why we put out the boot camp. That's why we're doing all the things, because we want to help you go from 0 to hero, below average to savage. We want to help you and your team rank up and bank up. So before we wrap this up, Michelle, can you also talk about, okay, so you got the yeses, they're in the groups, you're doing the follow-ups, but there's one piece that you do all day, every day, and also Ashley Dawes has totally duplicated this with you, right? She's not even on your team, but she's doing this as aggressively as you now. Can you talk about group chats? How soon do you do them? How do you set them up? Like, can you get into that a little bit?
So you guys, let's literally, because I never knew about this until I met John. And John and I had maintained a relationship together for a year before I finally came over to be with John. You know what I mean? And I walked away. Oh my God, that was just a whole nother story. Just crazy what we've been through. And so John has these three-way chats going on. And I'm like, well, first of all, like my upline was not even around to do three-way chats, but you don't need your upline to be around. Right. Like literally in my chats, Ashley Dawes, like we met through the company. We kind of alike and I love her. So like I use her. So in three-way chats, first and foremost, anyone who says yes, this is all you need to do. Like, listen, seriously. They say yes. All you have to do is find one person who you know from your team or your upline, and they say yes. Great. All you have to ask is, and I say this to my team, and some people still don't listen. Great. Do you currently have some health goals? Weight loss, reverse aging, more energy, all of the above, menopause, whatever, all the above. You're asking a question. They tell you. I literally take that goal. This is what I did with John. I took the goal the person gave me. I put it into a script that said, hey, John, this is my friend, Wendy. I figured I would throw her, or no, hey, Wendy, this is my friend, John. I figured I'd throw you in a chat with him. He got amazing results on these supplements, and he's been doing this a lot longer than I have. John, this is Wendy. Her goal is 15-pound weight loss. Great. Now I come in and I teach, I just say, oh my gosh, hey, it's edifying. Like, great to meet you. Happy Thursday. Hope you're having a great day. Super pumped up and fired up. You're taking a look at Modere. And then I teach the system. So then I just come in with my script and I'm like, we can for sure help you with that. What we're going to do is we're going to add you into the group. And the reason why I'm in that group chat with them is because they're going to have objections and they're not going to know how to overcome them. Or the person's going to come back after looking at the product and say no thanks. And that person's going to let them say no thanks. And we need to know why they're saying no thanks. So even when they get to the point where they're interested in taking a look at the video, once you have them take a look at the video, the easiest thing for you to do, or even the product, is to say, what did you like best about the video I shared with you? I loved residual income. Oh my God, me too. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to throw you in a chat with some of the people that I work with, and you can kind of get a feel for how we do things. And I'm going to introduce you to them. And that's it. And then once they're in the chat, you edify, like, this is John. He's my business partner. He's been in the industry for 22 years. He's literally dynamite. He's got the #1 team in our business. Yada, yada, yada. John, this is Wendy. Introduce maybe 2 more people. But once these people tell their stories, they're hearing from someone outside of you, which is huge. Mm-hmm. They're hearing from someone outside of you, and then you come in with the closing questions. Once John shares his story and Ashley shares her story, and then I got my girl Trinda on my team sharing her story, then I come in and I'm just like, hey, Brittany, isn't this crazy? Like, I'm just amazed by this leadership, the simplicity. It's just insane. Let me ask you this. How much extra per month would make this worth it to you? She tells me. So I redirect. Okay, so an extra $250 a month. Would you say that you're positive, coachable, willing to grow? Because that's only 3 things you need in this business. Yeah, of course. Great. Because just in case we have closing, just in case you're not, and you guys will get this from us, just in case you're not, it probably wouldn't be a good fit. But if you can be positive, coachable, willing to grow, great. Let me share with you next steps on how you can get started. If I were to share them with you, would you take a peek? Yes. You show them how they can get started, you close them. The problem is we think there's some supposed to like, when do you want to start? When are we going to do? No, it's how much money do you want to make? This is how much you want to make. Are you this? Yes, I am. Great. I'm going to share this. Are you going to take a look? Awesome. You share it. How soon are you wanting to get started? Bam, goodbye. But the thing is it has to be a system. It can't be all of this. You want to come up with words in your mouth. You need a system. And if you don't have a system because you don't have an upline or something like that, that's when people like this, who are mentors around the world, like John and Nadia, help you. People invest in them to sharpen their skills. I did it in my previous company. It's the best investment you can ever do. We are on a personal development journey with a compensation attached to it. John's winning. I want to be doing what John's doing. If John was the person that's number one in his company and I'm following him and he has no stories and he never goes live and he doesn't have a podcast and he never posts, okay, that'd be a little weird to follow what John's doing. But you can clearly see him showing up and what he's doing is working because thousands of leaders out in the realm of the network marketing space want to be like John and Nadia. And that's why we're so grateful that we have two crazy energized bunnies coming together for this challenge, this boot camp, to light fire under your butt during the best time of the year. These months that we're going to do this are literally going to be the building blocks and the foundation for the busiest months of the year. Because like today, some gal she's like, I'm having surgery in 3 months. I'm like, why would you wait? Like, let's start getting stories up. Let's start getting content. You're at least planting seeds to all those people. Start reaching out to them. Because when you start off, it's going to be slow. You start now. And then when you're sitting on that couch, all those people that you can go back to all those stories in your archive and every post, if you don't have time now to reach out to them, at least you have the main focus. You're showing up with the product. You're not just like, oh, got surgery. Here I am now trying to make some money because I'm not really. So that's a good, like, so this rank up, bank up challenge is the time that it is in the 6 weeks. Like, we were very intentional with what we were doing.
Right.
Right, John? Because like
Yep.
November, holy moly, guacamole. Like, just everything with like.
Yeah, I mean, basically, it's going to be every Thursday. We'll go live at 12 p.m. 12 p.m. Eastern for 6 weeks, starting next Thursday, 10 days from now. The VIPs will also be put into a chat. They'll have access to the replays, I think, for a longer period of time. We'll stream into a Facebook group. So if you can watch live, awesome. If you can't, you can watch the replays. I think we'll leave up replays in the group until the next week is up, and then we'll give the VIPs like a back office login. A lot of that we'll figure out, but we'll have scripts, we'll have different resources, challenges. We're going to make it a lot of fun, very interactive. So not only would I recommend you doing it, but you get your teammates into it, because this investment will be an investment in themselves, an investment in your business and their business. Everybody's going to work together. You could even find some like accountability partners to run with during this 6 weeks, because it's basically going to be end of April, all of May, and then you're rolling into the summer months with momentum, with excitement, with clarity on what to do every single day, every week, every month, how to run a global business. For those of you that really want to build something significant, you want to build an empire, you want to generate lead sales. And like, that's the other thing I want to point out too. This isn't just about recruiting. Like Michelle did 91,000 in personal sales last month. She had over 1,300? No, 1,300 customers in the last 90 days.
Yep.
But 91,000 in personal sales in the last 30 days. So she's crushing it on both ends. And on top of that, she's built like a 350,000 person following on Facebook. And then, of course, she's got TikTok and Instagram that she's crushing it on too. So I think all of us would admit we could use more leads. I've never met any business owner, any marketer that's like, I got too many leads. Like, what a positive problem that would be. How many of us would love to be in Michelle's situation where like literally you end up in Facebook jail all the time because of all the people you got to talk to every single day? It's insane to the membrane, which, by the way, that's also why it's valuable to learn to outsource, which is a whole other conversation we can cover inside the boot camp as well. So get registered, mylifestyleacademy.com/rank up, so you can bank up, y'all. And if, listen, you're driving or you're like, I can't write down the link fast enough, we'll change the description of the video. It's also in my bio, but we'll change the description of the video to have the link as well. And on top of that, you can drop the word boot camp in the comments, and my team will try to respond to those of you that are dropping that in the comments. Michelle, anything you want to say before we wrap this up?
Yeah, so I've had some people reach out to me. You guys, I was in your shoes at one point. I couldn't get on live trainings at like noon. This is what's going to happen. I'm very intentional with like timers. Thursdays, you are going to be so excited. And what we're going to do for those of you who work is we're going to say, okay, so what time do you get off at on Thursdays? You're going to say 5:02. We're going to set at a timer in your phone that's labeled rank up, bank up, and you're going to catch that recording on your way home from work. Because let's be honest, you're having a bad day. And someone who inspires you or a song that just makes you smile, you turn on. And there's just such a different aroma that comes into your mind, into the room. So, for those of you who are wondering, because some people reached out to me yesterday, you are still a great candidate for this. And what's going to happen is when you're working your business at night and you come across, I don't know how to follow up, or this person just ghosted me, or I don't really know how to even say something when we're having a conversation to keep the conversation going, you're still going to get replies from that from us, so that when you're working your business outside of your working hours, all of this is still going to flow and help you to rank up and bank up at the same time. Just set the timer, and then you won't forget. You'll never ever get behind. And if you do, the next morning you set the timer. You can do the training on a Thursday, 1 hour, probably one on your way to work, and then finish it on your way home. And that's all you're going to have to do is listen. You are going to have, just by listening, so many aha moments. Maybe you've been in the industry 10 years. There's still times I listen to John and I'm like, why am I just now realizing this? But you know what? If I wasn't doing the personal development, if I wasn't showing up and pouring into myself and telling myself that I'm so happy and I'm so grateful that I'm the biggest recruiter in the world, maybe I wouldn't have caught that piece of what John said. Maybe it wouldn't have brought clarity. But because I am doing the right things and taking the right action steps, those things are happening to me and those things are going to happen to you. Because 2024 is your freaking year and it's time to blow up.
I love it. So good. Y'all, get fired up, get jacked up, get excited. Join the Rank Up, Bank Up boot camp, because we're not going to mess around. We are going to put a lot of pressure on you. It's going to be awesome. So for those of you that are ready for an intense 6 weeks, make sure you get in the group. One little caveat I'm just realizing is apparently Facebook is changing the way you stream into groups. So there is a possibility that we'll do everything on Zoom only, and then we'll upload the recording. So that's a little side note. I'm just remembering they're supposed to not allow, but we might try to find a workaround, because my team don't play around either. So we might try to figure out a workaround. We'll keep you posted on that. But make sure, by the way, if you did already enroll in the Rank Up Bank Up Challenge, whether it was the early bird or early bird pricing, just make sure you're in the group. There is a Facebook group. You need to be in that group. Make sure your teammates are in that group, and we'll see you on the inside. Y'all are amazing. Bye, Michelle.